So somebody left a great comment of one of my videos about the Kindle Paperwhite, and that was, how do you get the VoiceOver feature working, the accessibility feature that all Kindles have? So I went ahead and checked that out and worked out how you might get that thing going, and thought that might make a really great video to discover and discuss what other accessibility features are available on Kindle devices. So let's do that. Hey there, Mark from The Spark here, and yes, we're going to spend some time diving into the accessibility options of a Kindle. And without any further ado, let's get cracking and investigate that VoiceOver feature that I talked about in the intro there. So I've opened up my book here, and if you tap the three dots there and go to Settings, and we'll find Accessibility here. And you can see here, VoiceOver Screen Reader provides spoken feedback when you touch items on the screen. We'll go into that and we will tap it. Now there's a problem. We can't activate the Voice View screen reader unless we have a Bluetooth enabled device such as a speaker or headphones connected to your device. So we'll go ahead and do that now. We'll swipe down, go into all settings, back to this screen here, and we will tap Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and manage devices. I previously connected the Anchor Sound Core 2 to my device, so you can see it here. I shall turn it on. Depending on what you're using, what kind of speaker, what kind of headphones, you'll have your different way of connecting the Bluetooth. It's generally something like pushing that button there, or a button that has the Bluetooth insignia on it, until it flashes, and then this will be able to find it. But in this case, I've already done that connecting, so Soundcore is now connected. So we will go back into the book. We'll tap those three dots again, not that one. We'll tap those three dots again. Settings, accessibility, screen reader, and now let's turn it on. See if she says anything.
Voice view enabled. Back button. Double tap to select.
Okay, the way the voice view screen reader works is you tap something, it describes what that thing is, and then you need to double tap it to activate it. So for example, if we want to adjust the speech rate of the voice view, we tap it.
Speech rate, adjust the speed of voice view spoken feedback. 1x button. Double tap to select.
There we go, double tap.
Back button.
And there we are.
Double tap to select.
There we go. So the back button has been selected by kind of default really, and so I double tap that to go back. Just as an aside, you can see here if she's speaking too slowly for you, if it is speaking too slowly for you, you can speed it up or you can slow it down. We will tap this X button.
Close button. Double tap to select.
And we will double tap.
Double tap for menu.
Okay.
Swipe down and to the right with one finger to begin reading. Double tap and hold to select text. Of cities had made their stand here, not just one bolstered by a marine company. That was back to library button.
Okay.
Double tap to select.
I press the screen with two fingers at the same time for it to stop reading. It will automatically start reading your book, which I think is a great accessibility feature, because not only does it read out the different things that you're choosing, you can actually use it as an audiobook as well, in that kind of broken, stilted AI voice. But I have got a kind of hidden-ish feature that enables you to hear that stuff on a certain other device. I'll go into that at the end. Let's just tap out of that.
Exit button. Double tap to double tap and hold for more options.
Okay, one thing I don't quite understand is it automatically selects the first word. I think if you go into more of the kind of gesture settings, you'll be able to figure out why it's doing that. But there we are. I will tap the top of the screen.
Back to library button.
And
double tap to select.
We'll tap it.
Back button.
Tap the home button.
Double tap to select.
You gotta wait.
Home button. Double tap to select.
You gotta wait for it to do that. So this must be very helpful for those who can't see very well and need that kind of audio input. And I guess you'll get used to it, but it is a little clunky. I think that she has to read it completely before you can double tap, or rather she has to finish, no, she has to finish speaking the thing she selected previously before you can select something else. You can't just select that, quickly select something else. She wants to wait till she's finished saying what all she needs to do. As soon as she gets to that double tap thing, you can double tap it without needing to wait for her to finish her. It's an it, oh my goodness, for it to finish it. Okay, so that's VoiceOver, that's how it works. I'm going to turn it off for now.
Currently selected. Home button. Double tap to select.
See, I'm gonna have to wait.
Menu button.
Menu buttons.
Double tap to select.
Select.
Menu button. Double tap to select. Exit button. Search button. Double tap to select.
This is an issue. Tends to work all right for most things, but this double tap button here, this
double tap to menu button.
That's an issue. There's an issue here with this. So for everything else, it seems to be great, but tapping this thing.
Exit button. Double tap to select.
But it's going to do menu exit, so I can't.
Button.
Yeah, it's going into there.
Double tapped S. Quick actions button. Dialog box.
There we are. I'm going to go into all settings.
All settings button. Menu.
There we are. Accessibility.
Back button.
And then
Voice view screen reader provides back button. Voice view screen reader.
turned it off. Okay, so generally very useful. I think there's a few little bugs and what have you, particularly when it comes to this menu button here. It's not sure what it's doing. If I'm doing something wrong, please let me know. If this is a feature you use consistently, please let me know. What am I doing wrong? Am I not waiting around enough, etc, etc. Okay, accessibility feature number 2. So we're going to talk about the fonts that are available on your Kindle. I've mentioned these in previous videos, but it's always worth revisiting because the one standout feature this has is in terms of helping people with dyslexia and helping them read their books with dyslexia. So if we tap here, AA, go to font. I've got Bookily selected my font here, but if you go here, you can tap OpenDyslexic. And as you can see here, it's more heavily weighted at the bottom. And that apparently provides greater clarity for readers who suffer from dyslexia and should improve reading speed and comprehension by reducing visual confusion. Don't know how it works, there must be some science behind it, but you've got somebody called Abelardo Gonzalez to thank for the OpenDyslexic font. Again, is this something you use? Does it really help with your dyslexia? I don't suffer from dyslexia, so to me it just looks like a bit of a funny font, but it would be awesome if this generally does make a difference. I guess it must do. It's on the device. Let me know how you get on with it. I'm going to turn this back into Bookily. For our third accessibility feature, which is adjustable text settings. So again, if you go back into that AA, you'll find here you can change loads of different stuff. Again, you can change the font to different kinds of fonts that you might find easier to read. Okay, so you could do it to that one, back to Bookily, Amazon Ember. Yeah, and they've all got kind of their different looks. What's easier for you to read? You want to make the words a bit bolder, just tap this bold book button. Go back there and you want to make the words bigger. There we are, you can tap this back up and down. There are some default themes here that you can just tap. Compact makes everything small, reduces the size of the space between the lines. The opposite of that is large as well. And you can also tap, I'll go back to customize here, you can also tap low vision here, which makes everything bold, quite spaced out. So hopefully should really help you with low vision read better. We'll go back onto customize here. You can change the layout as well. You can change the margins. So is it getting more focused as it goes in? We'll go back there. Or do you need the spaces between the lines to be a little bit more pronounced? So it's just highly flexible as to how you want it to be. You can kind of full justification, or you can make everything go to the left and sort of kind of stop splitting words and things. So I think you'll find it's quite extensive in how you might change things around to make it easy for you to read. And of course, you can always swipe from the top and go into dark mode as well, which inverts everything. I tend to use this at night. My wife is with me in bed and she's trying to sleep, and I don't want to have bright light coming into the room. I can just tap this and all of a sudden everything's a bit more reduced, and it's a bit easy to read when you're reading in the dark. So there we are, swipe down and get rid of dark mode. I'm going to turn this off as well, so we're disconnected. Okay, I'm going to talk about this one because lots of my books on here don't actually use it, and that is something called WordWise. So we'll go to AA and we'll go to More and we'll scroll down to WordWise. Now, as you can see, it's already on. You toggle it on and off here. And if we just learn more here, I'll explain what it does. WordWise helps young readers and readers maybe learning English or those struggle with English a bit more by explaining the most challenging words in a book. But not all books have this feature. So some books you won't get it at all. And I seem to have a lot of books that don't have it enabled, maybe because it's kind of low sci-fi kind of fiction that I have on here. But to give you an example, if you came across elucidate, you would find above it to make clear. And so complicated words, you'd find the instant kind of explanation of what that word is above it without needing to press anything, go to dictionary or Wikipedia or anything like that. You can see it there, and you tap on that word, like I said, to see that definition and similar words and more. So when you buy a book and you think this might be helpful, you might want to check on the Amazon listing as to whether it is WordWise enabled. Okay, number 5, Immersive Reading. Now, if you have an Audible subscription or if you bought Audible books and you have a Fire tablet, not a Kindle like this, not an eInk device, but a Fire tablet, you can listen to the Audible narration and you can also see it follow on the word on the page.
For you. Shoot twice and jump in the car. Lou will drive you to the hotel. When you get there, he'll show you your ride. Climb in, sit tight. Got it?
It's a feature that is not only beneficial for readers with dyslexia, but probably for anybody looking to enhance, their reading comprehension and retention through that multi-sensory learning. So you need to hear it, but you want to see it as well. Then this immersive reading, where you can follow on with your Audible book to what you're reading on a Fire tablet, should be really helpful for you. And to be able to remember what you have read. Okay, so that one not available on eInk, but is available on Kindle devices. However, there is something extra, a bonus feature, if you will, something I discovered a few weeks ago, that if you own one of these things, an Echo device, is an Echo Spot here, you can get that thing to read to you, a little bit like VoiceOver will read it on here, but I think it sounds better on here. So let me just go into this. Alexa, resume reading.
Firebase 2 was unlike most of the others in that it was cut through the middle by a major road.
I'll turn it up.
The road led out toward Olympus Mons, the Great Canyon of Mars, and other wilderness areas. It was a stocky, beautiful region under normal circumstances.
I think you'll agree, that sounds quite good. So maybe you want to save a little bit of money on that Audible subscription and those Audible books. Just get your Echo device and get Alexa to read it for you. It sounds better than the WordWise thing on here. And I just think it reads it really well. And it's not just this book here. If I go into my library to remind me of other books, you don't just need to say read, continue reading. You can actually read a specific book that's in your library. So let me go to a book. Alexa, read Create Something Awesome by Roberto Blake.
Resuming Mark's book, Create Something Awesome. How creators are profiting from their passion in the creator economy. Read with Kindle Assistive Reader. Roberto Blake has been listed in Forbes' 20 must-watch YouTube channels that will change your business.
It's reading a bit
He's
about
a
the
creative
author.
Entrepreneur, keynote speaker,
So-
and podcaster.
Seemingly any book that you have in a library, you can just tell it to read it, and I think that reads really well. So not just something for those who need those accessibility features, but maybe you want to save yourself a bit of money on an Audible subscription. So there we are. There are my kind of 5 plus your bonus number 6 accessibility features available using your Kindle. Have you got any more? Let me know in the comments section below. What might help people that have particular struggles and things? How might this become more accessible to them? What do you use? What things most helpful. I'd really appreciate it if you found this video helpful, if you could tap that subscribe button, and if you find it incredibly helpful, then maybe you might be able to tap that membership button as well. And for as little as £3 a month, less than a cup of gourmet coffee, you can become a member of the channel and call yourself a sparkler. Okay, I've done loads of videos about Kindles, and one in particular is quite a popular one. It's one where I did a deep dive into my Kindle Paperwhite Signature Edition, and you'll find that video here. Go tap that, find out more about this, and actually I go a little bit more into some of the things that I spoke about in this video. Okay, until the next video, you take care.